Good day, USA! Welcome to Flag Stewards, Be a Stud Citizen, half-staff alerts, and reminders from our flag for Wednesday, May 19th of 2021. So as we start each day, we want to know where our flag is at half-staff across this great nation. We've got 5 locations where our flag is at half-staff, across Louisiana, across Tennessee, across Connecticut. Yeah, the word is across. Sorry about that. And it's the last day for the half-staff in Concho County and at all Department of Public Service facilities or public safety facilities in Texas. You can click on the link below to learn about the honorees and when those other half-staffs will end. Just making sure you students, parents, building supervisors have your your school, your home, or your business at the right flag position. All right, today's historical moment from our flag. The letter from Birmingham Jail goes public. Do we all know what that is? Yeah, it's a famous letter from Martin Luther King, 4 days after being arrested for leading a march against racial segregation in Birmingham. On April 16th, 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. began writing a letter in reply to white religious leaders publishing a call for unity. Rather than wait for the painstakingly slow justice system to fix social injustices in the 1960s, in his letter, MLK reinforced that action in the form of sit-ins, marches, and other forms of protests had to be taken to correct the racial injustices across the South. And because he was in jail and not given materials to write on, he started writing on the margin of the newspaper. Then tiny bits of paper snuck into him, and eventually his lawyers were allowed to give him a pad of paper. Now, on May 19th of 1963, MLK's, or parts of his letter from Birmingham Jail were first published for folks to read across this great nation. In reply to him being called an outsider by Birmingham authorities, resisting the racial desegregation protest that he was kind of pushing for, MLK wrote this: "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Anyone who lives inside the United States can never be considered an outsider anywhere within its bounds." Well said. Basically trying to bring unity, equity, inclusion, things that were actually are hot topics now, more than or nearly 50 years later. This unauthorized publication by the New York Post Sunday magazine began a summer full of reprints of the letter and distribution across America, sparking support for the Civil Rights Movement and eventual Civil Rights Act of 1964, which was signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson. And our inspirational quote, of course, comes from that same kind of work and thoughts and beliefs by Martin Luther King. In this case, he had compared the Boston Tea Party and the resistance of the British rules and taxation with what's going on with civil rights in the 60s. He said, "We know through painful experience that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor," whether that's England or leadership in America. It must be demanded by the oppressed. It must be demanded by the oppressed. And now it's time to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Students across America at school or at home, inspired by Martin Luther King's letter calling for an end to racial discrimination in Birmingham and across America, let's unite and recite the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's it. That's our U.S. flag tribute. This is Sean Swiddy signing off as Chief Flag Steward, saying, go out and be a stud citizen. That means be an awesome, good to each other citizen. Keep America beautiful, and remember, in God we trust.